Patience is a virtue. Everything in life takes time. Stay focused, stay consistent, stay on your grind.
Thank you for everybody for joining the live. Welcome to Street Dialogue Podcast, where we get dialogue from a street perspective. And we have a special guest today on Fluid P.
That's me.
What's
Oh,
good? What's
Beauty
good?
Kia. Yeah, I know who that is. Hi, Beauty Kia. I know who that is.
Oh yeah. That's she be doing her thing. So
She
let's
does.
go ahead on and start the podcast. So go ahead on and introduce yourself for everybody that's watching, for that might not know who you are, and all the fans that's out there right now.
I go by Fluid P. I'm a rapper and singer based in Dallas, Texas. I'm Nigerian Greek, and I rap and sing in 4 different languages: English, Greek, Spanish, and French. And as you can see here, you can't see my full shirt. I might have to stand up. I'm repping my brand, my clothing line, Just Elevate. And that's what I try to do, elevate every single opportunity that I get. So that's what I got for y'all so far.
Got you. So what I like to do, I like to go into your background and let everybody know your upbringing and stuff like that. So you're from Nigeria
Yeah.
originally, right?
Yes. I'm Nigerian Greek. So my parents are Nigerian, but I was born and raised in Greece. Fun fact, I have not been to Nigeria just yet, but
Oh,
I
okay.
carry the original blood. Okay, so that counts.
That makes plenty of sense. That makes plenty of sense. So you say your parents are from Nigeria. So how did they um, get into Greece? Like, how was that transition for them? How did that come
So
about?
it
From
wasn't
Nigeria to
so
Greece.
actually, my parents were traveling to different countries in Europe, and they were trying to find a country that would help them economically. They actually went to Greece from Serbia. So they had been to Austria, and then they went to Serbia, and then they came to Greece. So my brother and my sister, they were born in Serbia. They're just trying to find opportunities, a better life.
Oh, okay. So
Mm.
your parents are originally from Nigeria, so they just was traveling and
Uh-huh.
they um, just stumbled into Greece like that.
Yeah, I guess I doubt that they did some research, but
Right.
that's where they stopped. I honestly, my parents were traveling Austria, Serbia, Greece, and they went to Greece. I was born and my dad left. So once my dad left, my mom just stayed in Greece. It's not like Greece was the best option at the time, but my dad left after I was born. So she stayed there.
So you was in Greece with your mom. What made your dad leave at the time?
Honestly, that's a question that I can't answer. He left when I was 3 months.
Wow.
So he left when I was 3 months, and ever since then, he never came back. And my mom had my sister and my brother. So my sister was 9 at the time, my brother was 8, and I was 3 months.
Mm.
And she just made a way. She made a way by herself, no friends, no family, without speaking the language either.
So she didn't even know the language, and she just raised you guys up. So once he left, she had no reason to go back. I feel, because she was out
Yeah.
there by herself. So I guess that was her best option at the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't dove into that with my mom as much because I don't want to remind her of all that, but she made a way out of no way, I can say. We had a pretty challenging upbringing, but I'm thankful for her. She was my mom. She's my mom and my dad for me. So
So you're in Greece and your mom doesn't even speak the language. So how difficult was that for you to maneuver? Like, how did you learn the language in Greece?
so for me, I was born and raised there. So my native language is Greek. It's
Mm.
not my brother's, my sister's, nor my mom's, but my native language is Greek. I learned English through movies. So there were English movies and they had subtitles, and I spent a lot of time by myself because my mom was working and my siblings were out and about. So I spent a lot of time by myself watching TV, and that's how I picked up the English language. But for me, Greek was it's my native language.
Okay, so growing up, you have a single parent household, and your father, he's now gone. So how did that affect you in school growing up, knowing that these things was going up, knowing that you'll never see your father again? Did that hinder you in any type of way going to school, knowing that you don't know what's going on and he just up and left like that?
Well, at the time, I was very hopeful. So up until I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, I had faith that he was going to come back. I used to try and call him, um, and he would say he's coming back. But for me, outside of him, growing up without a dad and my mom being busy, when I had to when the day of report cards came at school, they would wait for my mom. Back in Greece, they wait for the parent to collect the report card. And I would just tell them that she's not going to pull up. She's not going to show up to any teacher parent conference. She's not doing any of that. So I would just sit there on the days where we had to collect our report. I would sit there until everybody comes and everybody leaves, and I would be like, "Hey, my mom's not coming. You might as well just give me my report card." And that was the
Right.
story every single year. So it was just, I mean, I guess when you put in that situation, you don't really have a choice. So you just get used to uncertainty. You just
Mm.
try to focus on making it every single day. The focus is the day. You don't really think future when you're in that position. And I'm talking about third grade and fourth grade and fifth grade, because you have the kids around you. They can talk about things, but you don't relate. So being the
Right.
only black kid in school up until sixth grade, I was just by myself. I spent a lot of time by myself.
Okay. So you eventually got into sports and developed a love for basketball. How did that come about?
I started basketball in seventh grade. So in seventh grade, I started basketball. Up until sixth grade, I was not good at school. And I had
Right.
teachers tell me all types of things. But then in seventh grade, I got a little bit of exposure into basketball, just playing with my brother at the park. And in seventh grade, I just had like a moment where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start getting good grades. I'll figure it out. But I started going to parks with my brother, and then I used to play with the boys. And this girl, her name is Zenta Melnika, by the way. She's half Latvian, half Russian, and I give her one of the biggest shout out because she's an amazing person, and she had a lot to do with my life changing. She saw me at the park one time, and she was like, "Yo, you should try out for my school." And then we met each other, whatever. And then two years later, I tried out for her school, and that's when things started changing for me. So I started basketball when I was 14. I developed a love for it. My mom wasn't for it because I was out in the park with the boys and people that are older than me. Got a little bit of
Right.
basketball to convince her, which I was like, can beat my ass, but I'm still go to practice. So we
Right.
had that going for like a year, but then I started making a name for myself in basketball, and people started treating me differently. Seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, I couldn't relate with the girls. They were doing their hair and all that, but I could relate with the boys because I was good at basketball. So little by little, I was like, okay, I'm good at something. And then before
Right.
I became one of the best in Greece. I met Zenta. I tried out for her school, and I got a scholarship to an American high school in Greece. So from
Wow.
10th grade to 12th, yeah, from 10th grade to 12th grade, I got a scholarship to an American high school in Greece. And then that's one of the top high schools in Greece. And the kids that go to that high school are like children of ambassadors and CEOs, big people. And that's when I was like, wow, like, this kid is being dropped off in a Ferrari and they have chauffeurs and all those things. And my brain just exploded. I started seeing more. And that's when things started
Mm.
to change for me.
So what were the names of the school that you went to from elementary to high school then?
So when I first started, so just being transparent here because we're trying to grow with one another, right? So
Yeah.
we got evicted a lot. So I changed a lot of schools from first grade, even preschool, from preschool to sixth grade. So I attended like 3 or 4 different schools just from that time frame. and then I changed again twice from 7th to 12th. So the way we call it, one was called the second elementary school, one was called 122, and one was
Mm.
called 45. That's how we call the schools,
Okay.
depending on the area that you're in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then from 7th grade to 9th grade, I went to 60. And then from 10th to 12th grade, I went to ACS Athens, American Community Schools Athens, which is where I had a scholarship.
That's amazing. So I know that gave you the drive. I know that gave you a lot of drive, because you right now it's not only about you, it's about your family. So what do you feel that your family like looked at you like once you start getting all these accomplishments in basketball? What were they pushing you extra harder? Like, what was the support like gaining that much success?
That is a very interesting question because circumstances, I would say, in my family, we were very separated. We've always been very separated. So my brother is the first, well, actually, my sister was the first person to start playing basketball, but she didn't continue. My brother pushed it, but he couldn't play because during his time, the government wouldn't allow foreigners to officially play for teams. So when I came through 8 years later, I was able to actually play for a team. So he was happy that I could play. But as far as my games and stuff like that, maybe they attended 3 or 4 games all in all. We had a lot of things to think about. I'll say
Right,
when you're in survival mode, we're in survival mode for most of our lives, up
right.
until I turned 18. So when you're in survival mode, you don't really think about support. You're just trying to figure out what you're going to get in the day. So everybody was pretty dispersed, doing their own thing. But for me personally, I was motivated because if I wanted something, I could get it. In Europe, you can become pro once you know how to hoop. They put
Right.
you on higher teams, and then once you know how to hoop, you can become a professional. So for me, I started getting paid when I was 15, and I could buy
Mm.
shoes to play basketball. I could eat.
Right.
I didn't have to pay for food anymore because those were things that weren't guaranteed for me. So that was nice. That was
And that
nice.
and that's deep. That's deep. So when you growing up, you really didn't have much. So you actually found a talent that you was good at, and now you're able to actually support yourself. So did that take any relief off your mom at the time? I know she had to feel good about that.
Yeah. Um, my mom was happy that I was going to school. She was happy.
Right.
I was consistently going to school, and then after 7th grade, I started getting good grades. So that was another point of relief. But also, once I turned 15, 16, food started coming. She didn't have to worry about that as much. And then as far as the resources or whatever material I needed to play basketball, she didn't have to worry about that because I had became that good and that known that teams or coaches would provide for me. And when I was 17, I moved out. I moved out at 17.
So at
So
17, you were still in high school.
mhm.
So
I
what
moved.
caused you to move out of your home at 17?
Very good question. What caused me to move out? Well, my mom met a person. After my dad, the person was not that ideal for me and my safety, and I had to move out. I had to move out because I was dealing with, suicidal thoughts, child abuse, sexual molestation, all those things. So
Wow.
the safe thing for me to do was to move out at 17 and just start a life of my own. Yeah.
So right now you probably feeling like you're on your own and nobody loves you because you're thinking about suicide and a lot of these things are going on. And this happens a lot in families, especially with girls when the father is not present. So you really had to find your own way out at the time then.
Yes. And that's the reason I can tell you, I told you about my brand. It's a motivational clothing line. I blog, I make motivational videos because when I was at that age, I felt hopeless and I felt worthless until I found basketball. But even shortly after I found basketball, I just felt inadequate, and all I needed was a voice. I needed a voice. I needed somebody to tell me that even though you were born into these circumstances, you can really accomplish anything you put your mind onto. So at that age, I was trying to balance a lot. My dad's absence, when a parent leaves, you're like, damn, that parent left. But then you have another parent that's present, and you still don't feel protected, or you still don't feel affection and everything. So it's a lot that you're trying to balance, in addition to trying to be a good student, in addition to trying to be a good athlete. Um, but I feel as though that when life throws all those challenges at you, it's for a reason, and I do think that I have a purpose. And part of my purpose is to be that voice for anybody who's growing up right now, for anyone who's already grown and faced these type of things where they were younger. That's my purpose. So because that's my purpose, I need to overcome these things before I can be a voice of inspiration and motivation. That's how I see it.
And do you think, just talking from a female perspective, can that cause any type of trauma towards,
Oh yeah.
your thinking and trusting men? Because, for a man to molest you and your mother not to do anything, and for you have to create your own escape route, I know it have to build up a little blockage there, like a wall towards men, and trusted men at the same time, right?
Yes. I will say, I used to drink a good amount. I used to drink a lot. I used to drink a lot. Even when I was as a student athlete in college, I used to drink to forget and to like just not remember what was
Mm.
going on at home. Um, it made me. I don't feel anything towards men, so I'm not like men are this and men are that. It's more like it made me overly independent, and I think that when you see those things growing up, for example, my mom developed very deep dependency for that man that came later in her life. And she was
Right.
abandoned by the love of her life, which was my dad. So for me, what it did, I'm like, wow, my mom became so dependent to this person that's not good for us as a family because of her circumstances. So my goal, what really drove me outside of basketball and all that, was for me not to turn out like my mother, to where she's tolerating things that are not okay because of financial insufficiencies or whatever you want to call them. So really what happened is that I became overly independent. I became hella skeptical, hesitant about asking help, and if you become overly independent and you're not asking for help, it doesn't matter how much talent you have and how driven you are, you're isolating yourself, and we need each other to grow. So
Facts.
it's
Facts.
you know it's good to know, because you mentioned trauma, and if you look, the books I have, most of my books are on trauma. Like I had to do a lot of self work, but I think we should always know what something is coming from, because independence, when you think about it at first sight, right, you're like, oh, that's good, but being overly independent, that's malicious. That's gonna harm you eventually. So that's what it did for me. But I've done a lot of work with reading. Um, because those things don't go away, and the goal is not to forget them. The goal is to learn what you're supposed to learn from them and understand how you navigate through life moving forward.
Facts. Facts. So now you're 17, so you moved out on your own.
Yeah.
You're still in high school. So when did the scholarship come about for VCU?
So the scholarship actually came from UC Riverside. I went to UC Riverside in Cali for 3 years, VCU for 2 years, and then, no, Stony Brook for 2 years in New York, and then VCU for a year and a half. So I was in school for a little while. The scholarship came at the age of 18.
Okay.
And that scholarship came because I was 17, and we had a international basketball clinic at my high school in Greece. So they had some American coaches come to Greece and demonstrate a few exercises. And one of the coaches there saw me volunteering and everything, and he was like, I want her to come to my school. So that was in October of 2009. He sent me a letter of intent. They told me, I signed my part, I signed my mom's part, I sent the
Mm.
letter back, and I went home. I said, Mom, I'm going to America. I didn't ask anybody I just did my
Right.
thing. I
Yeah.
just did my thing.
As you should, because you on your own anyway.
I was in my
That wouldn't
own
have made no sense.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what was the
circumstances
name of
got
the first
wrong.
college that you went to again? What was the name of that college?
UC Riverside, University
It-
of California, Riverside.
okay. Okay. So now you at UC
Uh
Riverside.
huh.
When did you get into music?
Okay, so I always liked music. When I first, as a freshman at UC Riverside, I had started thinking about music, but back then the NCAA rules were different. So anything you did outside of sports was considered to be linked to your image in sports. So essentially, anything outside of the sport you were doing was threatening to your image. Let's just put it that way.
Gotcha.
So the coach was like, you can only play basketball. You can't do any of the other stuff that you're trying to do. So I didn't deal with music at all until 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 2025. I didn't do anything with music. I played basketball all the way through. I graduated from college in 2016. That was my third time graduating. And then I went pro to Argentina, Spain, and Greece. And then I came back. I came back in 2019. Didn't do music. I was just doing my brand and everything. Then I went back to school one more time. That was 2020 to 2021. And I was in Virginia at the time. Then I was like, you know what? I like how people in Texas act. I like how women in Texas are strong. You know, you got Beyonce, you got Megan, you got Erica Badu. I'm like,
Right.
I like strong women. I'm moving to Texas. So I moved here 4 years ago now. And I just rebranded. I was like, I'm gonna start
So
doing
so
poetry first,
let's not.
actually.
So what stood you actually went pro.
Yeah, overseas.
How was that experience for you? Like, how did somebody pick you up for pro? Like, what was that life changing for you? What type of experience was that for you to actually go pro?
Well, honestly, growing up, I didn't think any of this was possible. I
Right,
didn't think I was gonna be traveling, doing what I love. You know, I played basketball. I just started playing basketball because I felt good. It felt good, and I felt good at something. And then I went to college, and you know, when you're in college and you're done, once they realize that you're in your last year, agents start reaching out to your coaches, depending on your progress or whatever you've done during college, and then you make a choice. And I was like, damn, I'm about to be traveling. So
right, right,
it was everything I needed, I would say. I just never thought that would happen for me to be traveling with basketball, for me to be traveling, period, actually. You know, because you don't have to
right.
pay for a ticket, you don't have to pay for where you stay, you don't pay for food, you just got to play. You know, I just got to do what I love. It was nice. I was exposed to different cultures, especially when I went to Argentina. Out of all the places that I've been, when I went and played in Argentina, that was the most life-changing experience for me because the way that league worked, you got drafted. You put your name on the list of players that want to be picked, and you got drafted by a team, and you didn't know where you were gonna end up. And for me, I was drafted to a team in Du Club, that's what it was called, that was at the poorest part of Argentina. So I was at the poorest part of Argentina up north, and the people were so happy with a lot less. They were
Right.
happier, they were more thankful, and I was like, damn, that for me was that for me was everything. That's where I started my brand actually in Argentina.
So, what advice would you give to a female coming up through college, and if they have the opportunity to play across seas, vice versa than playing in the U.S., what advice would you give them to that athlete that is thinking about going across seas to play?
I, I would tell them make sure your grades are good. Don't forget about your grades. Really, really become somebody outside of just your sports identity because that's important. And go. I had a lot of teammates that were really good at their sport, but they just couldn't leave home. They were too
Mm,
scared to go too far. And when you leave what you know That's when you grow, you learn exponentially. You become a complete person. That's my opinion. When you expose yourself to different, and when you go to all these other countries, go with an open mind. Understand that things work differently in different places. And these are once in a lifetime experiences, especially as a woman. We play our sport because we love it. We don't get paid as much as men do. So go out there and go enjoy that. Go meet different people, learn a few different words in a different language. Don't deprive yourself from seeing a different place just because you're uncomfortable. But also don't forget about this right here. Your brain. This is what's gonna take you to places for unlimited amount of time. As long as you're here and you're developing your brain, you're gonna be going to places. Don't just rely on your body to do that.
Facts, 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 facts. So, how many languages do you actually speak?
I speak Greek, English, Spanish, and French. French is my weakest language right now because nobody for real in the United States of America speaks French like that. But Spanish is a top language,
You
so
might
it's
have to come to
French.
Miami then. You might have to come to Miami.
Well, they speak French in Miami.
You got a lot of Haitian people over there, so they speak a broken
They speak
down version
patois.
of French, but they
Yeah,
speak
they
French
speak
as well too.
patois. They
Yeah,
speak patois, and that's different. It's like you're saying English and Phonics.
right,
It's different.
right,
Yes,
right.
but yeah, those are the languages that I speak. I like to understand people, so that's why I learned them.
And that's dope. That's dope. So now you're out of the league, and now you move to Texas, and you're getting into the music
Uh
industry now. What
huh.
inspired you to get into the music industry at that point?
Well, I started with poetry and spoken word.
Okay,
I was writing poetry in a way that I would tell you about what happened. So, for example, I talked about suicidal thoughts and what went on in my mind, but I also talked about a solution, like the other side. So that's what I would do with my poetry. But honestly, I told you I came to Texas and I said, I'm going to rebrand myself. I don't care what he says or she says. I'm going to be the ultimate, optimal, authentic version of myself. And that's what it was. If I want to express myself through art, through music, through the way, I don't know, I carry myself, how I look, that's exactly what I'm going to do because that's what I feel. So with my music, I'm looking to inspire people to be their true selves because I feel like everybody deserves to be their true selves. And the more you are yourself, the happier you are to be around. I feel like people are mean and ignorant because they're not living a life that they're happy about. So, yeah, that's what inspired me. Everything that I saw, I want to give hope. I want to give confidence. I want to spread belief.
facts. So now that you're in Texas, what people did you meet along the way to help get your brand out there? As an artist, like what
So
type
what
of
did I,
moves did you make?
so what did I do? I didn't know anybody, and that's part of the reason why I moved here. I moved here, I didn't want to know anyone. I wanted to start from scratch. So I just started going to hella open mics. That's what I did. I started going to hella open mics even before I had my name as Fluid P. Even before I had a track, I would go to open mics, sign up as an artist that has a song. Be like, "Where's your track?" I don't have a track. I just had this verse that I wrote, and whoever let me say it, I would say it until I got a name, until I got a beat. Um, my first two tracks were from beats that I received from this beat maker in London that knew my brother. Never met the guy in person, but he had some beats and I just used them and then it just went from there. People started seeing who I am, started recognizing my talent, my drive, and now we're here.
Facts, facts, and you most definitely doing your thing. So, going into your music, you have a song called "Pain the Purpose," right?
Yes, I
What
do.
was the concept behind creating this song? Going through everything that you went through, I felt that it was something that was relatable to your life. Can you break down what was the concept behind "Pain the Purpose"?
Yes. Uh, for me, it's like everybody faces their battle. I read this book called The Gifts of Imperfections, and the author is Brene Brown, and she says that everybody moves with strength and struggle. And I like that because you see someone and you can see their strength, and then you also have to understand that that strength is coming from somewhere. And it's okay if your strength is coming from a poor background or a single parent household. It doesn't matter where your motivation comes from. It doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is what you do with it. So for me, either it's pain, pain comes in all types of forms: physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it is, heartbreak, whatever you want to call it. All that matters is what you do with it. So if you choose to create a purpose out of every painful experience that you've had, you're making the most out of life. And that song, I talk about, that's my song, by the way. So I love that you read that up. I talk
Hmm.
about, like, when you've been through a lot, you talked about trauma. A lot of times you're trying to move forward, but some of the things that you experience replay in your head, right? And for
Right.
some people, that can be paralyzing. And I'm normalizing that because people feel like they're not capable, or they're wrong, or because they have those thoughts still. Like I talk about it, I'm walking with my demons. It's hard for others to accept different. You can have all that, you can have all those thoughts, you can have those moments where you replay those negative experiences that you have, but you can still move forward. The goal is to learn to move forward even though those things happen to you, and the goal is to experience those things and not become what you experience. So in that song, I talk about sleeping on the floor. I talk about being an actress, right? And even though things are not going ideally, I'm still smiling. I'm still finding something to be grateful for. And I talk about having faith, because at the end of the day, everything you need is within you, and you're not walking by yourself. Either you believe in God, or you believe in Allah, or you believe in the universe. I believe in God, the universe, and myself. It's the three of us. We need each other to actually function. Whatever you believe in, everything is within you. Everything starts with you. So I talk about your faith. You need your faith. You need your faith at any point in your life. And then towards the end of the second verse, I talk about part two. This is what I do: cry and play it cool. Like you don't give up. There is no experience in your life. There's nothing that you're gonna encounter that justifies you giving up. You just don't give up. And if you don't give up, something will happen eventually, and you deserve to see what may happen tomorrow. You deserve to see the turnaround. So you got to keep going until tomorrow, and you do that again, again and again and again and again and again until however long it takes. So that's the thought
Right.
process behind that song.
That's deep. That's deep. That's real deep. That's real deep. I like how you, bro. I would have never thought of that. So you also got a hit out right now, Back in them better, and it's currently blowing up the airways. How
Yeah,
did you come up with this concept? Because that's
back
full of energy right there.
yeah. So back and better. It's just putting things simply. You get knocked down, something may slow you down, something may even hold you back. When you can always come back. No matter what happens in life, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you can always come back. And not only you can come back, but you can come back better than the version that you were prior. And that's the mindset of that song. That's the energy behind that song. And I wrote that song in 2023. I released it in 2024, and it's so crazy because in 2024, oh my freak, my life, my health went downhill. It
Mm.
went downhill, and I wrote the song in 2023, not even knowing what 2024 was gonna look like, and it was perfect. It was the perfect time to release it. It was everything I needed it to be, because my health, I've been facing a lot of health battles, but it's just, again, I have a purpose, so these are all the challenges that I have to overcome. And outside of the aspect of being knocked down and getting back up, you gotta know who the fuck you are. I feel as though a lot of times we look at people and we say, "Oh, this person is treating me this way," and it's how you treat yourself. You got to know how to carry
Right.
yourself. You got to carry yourself with the respect that you're demanding. You got to carry yourself with love. You got to carry yourself with confidence, and you got to back that confidence with work. So that song is all of that. You get knocked down, you get back up, you come back better. But you also know who the fuck you are at all times. Because even at your lowest time, you deserve the best. That's the song. So if you're on
So that
here
goes.
right now, go on your Spotify and Apple Music and type Fluid P Back and Better. That's the song you need to work out, do your job, do someone else's job, pursue your dreams,
Hmm.
heal, recover. That's the song you need on your playlist. I said it.
Gotta add that to the playlist.
Okay?
So my next question is why do you feel it's important to believe in yourself?
Oh, because if you don't believe in yourself, you have no right to ask for somebody else to believe in you. If you don't trust yourself, why are you asking others to trust you? Everything starts with you. You are the core. This is the If you look outside and you're looking at the world, what makes the world go round is you. You have to believe in yourself. What you project is what you receive. If you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter if you were born with talents or you were born into a rich family. It doesn't matter. Believing in yourself beats the odds. Believing in yourself can change everything. And it can change everything, and it can create anything you put your mind into. That's how I see it.
And so when did you start developing self-belief in yourself? Did that come as when you was young, when you was through everything you was going through? When did you start developing self-belief, knowing that you know, at one point in time you did want to commit suicide and you did have to start develop some type of self-belief? When did this self-belief start in you?
Um, Self belief. So, ooh, self belief. What I knew growing up is that I can work hard. I knew that I can work hard, and I knew that as long as I keep working, something good will happen. I knew that, and then I went to college. I got the scholarship. I had a really bad experience at UC Riverside. Long story short, my third year, I overdosed and I was in a coma. And then after that, they took me to a behavioral center, and know, yeah, they took me to a behavioral center, and in the behavioral center, I started talking to everybody. I started
Mm.
talking to people that were considered crazy, bipolar, other suicidal people, pervs. I talked to everybody, right? I'm out here interviewing them. And I remember this pastor came, and that pastor talked about forgiveness. And that was the first time. I was 21 at the time. That was the first time I had heard about forgiveness and the way that he talked about it. That was the first time someone had said you can forgive someone and separate. Up until that point, and of course, this is all stemming from me being molested as a child. Up
Right.
until that point, I thought that forgiving meant that you still are okay with that person. So basically, you're forgiving someone for harming you, and you're also enabling them to harm you again. That's what I thought forgiving was. But that pastor was like,
Right.
no, you forgive that person, you separate, and you put yourself at peace. So for me at that point, I started learning how to forgive, and I told myself, because I'm not going to lie, I woke up from my coma and I was not happy. I was like, damn. I overdosed on narcotics. I was on narcotics because I was going through a injury as a basketball player. I overdosed. I woke up. Everybody was happy, and I was upset. And I heard that what the pastor had to say, and I was like, okay, like I can forgive and separate, and I'm gonna help others do the same. And at 21, that was a turning point for me. I was like, I can help others do the same, and that's where my self-belief started. But my self-belief wasn't solidified. It wasn't solidified until maybe I went to New York. What's up, baby? This is Fluid P, and I want to give a big old shout out to Golden Money Team Marketing. I don't know what it is that you do. You cook, you rap, you chef, you sing, you fish, you hunt, and you need marketing. The person to hit up is Golden Money Team Marketing. That's your man, that's the guy, that's the company you need to be going with. Later in New York, I look very confident, and I am confident now. It's taken a lot for me to get here, but now I'm saying that I'm confident and I fully feel it. I've been practicing confidence for a long time.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you. I've been practicing confidence for a long time, but I didn't necessarily have it. I just knew I did the work, so I deserved to be confident, but I wasn't truly confident. My self-belief, man, I woke up from the coma, then I came to Texas. 3 months later, I was was it 3 months? No, 5 months later, I was in a wreck. My car was totaled. Everybody was like, who was in that car? I was in that car. All right. Back when I was home, I got robbed. I didn't get injured or anything. So I kept seeing things that told me that I have a purpose here. So I have no choice but to believe in myself. All these things are happening, and I come out of it like nothing happened. Last year, I had a stroke. I'm back. Like I'm here. I have to get a surgery for my heart. All these things are happening. I have no choice but to believe in myself. I have no choice to believe that I'm here to plant belief in other people. I've been through a lot. That's where my self-belief comes from. I've been through a lot. And I come on the other side. I come back and better at all times. So, yeah, it's hard. But I got it.
That's motivational. So, going through all that, you have to keep good people around you. You know what I'm saying? That could motivate you, because you could be looking like you're in a good position, but it's no telling that's going through your mind, because you've been through a lot, and you could fall into depression, so you have to stay out of that. So you got to keep good thoughts and good people around you, people that can listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's the ideal case scenario, to have good people around you. And I know now that having a community is important. That this is something I've been learning in the last 2 years, the importance of community. Right. But for anyone who has been in a similar situation as I've been, or they have a situation that makes them frightful of people, or skeptical, or suspicious of people, I would say read books, listen to podcasts, learn things, consume things that can help you get out of that mindset. Because I like to write solo a lot, and I know it stems from my experiences, and it's taken me a while to understand the importance of community. So I would say read, consume information that's going to help you evolve, because you can't always have good people around you. You're also going to have people that are not as good, but you got to stay true to your beliefs and your core values, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. So what type of example do you want to set being a female artist, saying all that?
What example do I want to set? Oh, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Your gender, your color, your preferences, sexual, lifestyle choices, nothing can stop you. You have no limits. That's the example I want to set. I want to set the example of you can be everything you see yourself to be. And if you have a vision, it's for a reason. You have that vision because you're the person that's supposed to make that happen. And if no one else sees it, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not their vision, it's yours. And as an artist, people talk about my genre. People try to put me in a genre. And now
Right,
I like Afro beats, and I like a little bit of pop, and I like a little bit of rock, and I rap.
right,
And
right,
of course, you see me think rap. But I listen to 50 Cent, but I also listen to Lady Gaga. And I also listen to
right.
Linkin Park and Blink 182. So the biggest thing for me as an artist, don't put me in a box. Don't try to fit me into anything. Don't try to put me under a category. I'm a person of my own. I am Fluid B. I am not this, that, or the other thing, or like this person or like that person. I am Fluid B. That's it. Multi-dimensional, all of that. And you can do that. You can be that.
Facts. So for people who don't know, I don't want to let me know if I say the name wrong. Who is Jessica Uganoran?
First of all, that was very, very good. That was very good. That's me though.
I
I'm
know.
Jessica Ganorin. I know. I know. Jessica Ganorin is me, is I. And everybody knows me for fitness and
Yes,
nutrition
that's what
and meal
I
prep
want to dive into next.
and basketball and all that. But that's her. That's me, Jessica Ganorin. That's my real name, y'all. You
Yeah,
rarely
so let's go into
rarely
the
hear me say
fitness. You
it.
know, so talking about Jessica, why is it important to be fit and to stay in the fitness? Why do you feel that's important?
For me personally, like, basketball saved me. I
Mm,
decided to be good at using my body a certain way and it saved me. But fitness is a process. It's one thing that you do every day. It builds consistency. It helps you create a schedule. It helps you stay disciplined. You put your effort into one thing and you watch it evolve over time. I feel like you can take those principles of fitness and carry them to your lifestyle. I put effort to this thing over and over and over again. As I do it, I improve my technique. I improve my endurance. I think we work out, we grow our muscles. Well, there's a muscle of courage. There's a muscle of perseverance. You got to work on those muscles. You got to exercise those muscles so they can function optimally. I think fitness can do that for people. Those principles of fitness, consistency, organizing your time, resting, recovering. These are all principles that if you take from fitness, you extract them from fitness, and you apply them in your life, you're going to move forward. Inevitable. That's why I love fitness. And you got a temple. Your body's a temple, and you want to enjoy your life. All this, we talk about grinding, 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 and all of that. Well, let's become millionaires. Well, when you're a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, be healthy. We're not going to be using this money to go to doctors and buy medicine. Let's travel. Let's feel good in our bodies. So
right.
that's what I tell myself. You want to get to your goals as healthy as possible.
So what actually got you into fitness, and why do you feel everyone should stay into fitness and be fit?
Life got me into fitness, and I'm so thankful for fitness. I'd say 50 Cent is my mentor. He's my mentor. So I listen to 50 Cent a lot, and that man will work out. And for me, fitness has kept me out of other things, like substances.
Mentally. Right, 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 right,
So
right,
for
right, right.
me, fitness has been a relief. I can't imagine. I don't think we would be here if I wasn't into working out. We wouldn't be here because I used to drink a lot. Some of my childhood friends used to do other things, and for me, because I was trying to stay fit, I was like, well, if I do this, then my performance would be distorted. I don't want to do that. I could say no. Fitness made me say no to a lot of things. Without fitness, I would be saying yes to everything. We wouldn't be here, actually. Yeah, no.
Right.
So I started pretty early. I will say that for me, it started as a body image issue because I was bulimic, especially being a black person in Europe. We're curvy, we're muscular. The European style back then It's real slim and skinny, but yeah, it was hard during that time. So I did start with a body image disorder, but eventually I realized that fitness feels good. So yeah,
So let's
and
talk
for
about your
women,
clothing brand, Just Elevate. What
yes.
made you develop that brand?
And I was in Argentina. Argentina for me was life changing, like I said. When I went there, when I was playing, everything was good. I was getting interviewed, I was getting photo shoots, I was getting all these things. I was on the top of the world, and then I got injured. I tore my Achilles, and then it was quiet. And I was like, damn, fuck. I was at the top of the world, and now I'm not even in the world. So I started thinking, I felt like nothing again. I felt that feeling that I had felt when I was younger. And I started thinking, how many of my teammates only rely on their sport? How many of my teammates only have an identity that's related to their sport? So I was like, you know what? I need to create something that will remind my athletes to learn something outside of their sport. So that's how I started the brand, with blogging, just trying to motivate some of my old teammates to be more than just an athlete. And then I started creating shirts. And initially, it wasn't just Elevate; it was FU Find Yourself. But I rebranded in 2019 just Elevate, and now we're here.
I don't know why my daughter up.
It's fine.
Come here. You're supposed to be asleep right now. Here's my
Hey,
daughter.
daughter.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey. Good to see you.
It's nice to see you
Thank
too.
you.
You need to take your behind and sleep. Go to bed. You over here interview bombing. Go to bed. Daddy will be in there in a little bit.
She wants to hear. Maybe she's gonna be a basketball player. You don't know.
I mean, hey, you gonna have to go ahead on and get her lined up. You feel me? She just come out here with this, she watching I got a little phone, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So she out here watching the videos. I'm like, man, I know they can hear that. She's so loud. So let's go on to my next question. So who are your favorite female artists right now in the game?
My favorite right now. Okay. I really like Doechii. I am not. I am new to Doechii, and which is fine because I'm going through her music. She's getting plays from 2010, and to me, I love Doechii. She is herself. She is everything she wants to be. Rap, pop, whatever, whatever. I like Megan Thee Stallion for Shizzle. I like Flo Milli. The girl can really flow. I like
Oh yeah, Flo Milli, yeah.
Yes, Flo Milli. Flo Milli goes, and then who was I gonna say? I like Glorilla. I like strong energy, and yeah, those are my main. Doechii at the top. Doechii at the top for sure. She, she.
Okay, so let's talk about the music industry and stuff like that.
Ooh,
Being a woman in the music industry, have you ever had to face any obstacles being a woman in the music industry? You know,
being
because
a
I know.
woman in this world, being on this world. Okay.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Honestly, yeah. Of course, I had to face challenges because one thing about my music, it's explicit. I am nasty. I am all time. I'm motivating, but I'm also freaky. I'm everything, you know. So it feels like every time I went to an engineer and recorded, I don't know, it felt like my lyrics were taken personally. And I feel that that only
Wow.
happens when you're a woman and the engineer is a man. And that's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing until I started searching for it. You know, I'm like, damn, is it just my experience? No, a lot of women face challenges just trying to record. Um,
Mm.
and of course, it's harder to get your respect, but I'm used to it from basketball. So I will say, being a former hooper, going into the music industry, which is a male dominated industry as well, I was prepared for that. And I'm ready for it too. Honestly,
Right,
from my experiences that I got with just trying to record music, that's what motivated me to be like, hey, I'm gonna get a mic. I'm gonna get my focus right. I'm gonna get my headphones, whatever. I'm gonna get my own little setup at home to learn how to record at home because I don't want my creativity and freedom to be limited because of someone's inability to emotionally regulate themselves. I don't think men experience this with other men. I feel like if you're a woman and then if you're everybody has their own definition of good looking. I know what the fuck I look like, so I if you look like me in any way and you go into the studio, you already get attention. I don't want attention, but I like to carry myself a certain way. I'm gonna be dressed up, not for the person
right,
I'm
right,
going.
right.
I'm a
Facts,
brand. I'm a brand.
facts. Yeah,
But when you're a woman, you if you get dressed up, they take it a different way. No, you're a brand and you're representing yourself at all times. So that's the hard part about the music industry as a woman. The process, I love the process. It takes time. You work hard. It is what it is. I'm fine with that. I just dislike the fact that sometimes I have to maneuver a little different because there's a chance that this person is giving me a compliment or saying they want to partner with me, not because they see my ability, but because they see my physical, my body, and I would say for any aspiring female artist, she should always have that in mind. Don't become suspicious of everybody, but be mindful. Like
facts, facts, facts. Because you'll know them by the fruit that they bear. You know, some people are talk business, but at the end of the day, they really just trying to get in your pants.
absolutely. And I mean, people shoot their shot. It's up to them. They're getting blocked.
Right,
But
right.
you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. What can I say? I'm gonna say the truth. But
That's real talk though.
I understand that will delay my process. I get it. It's gonna delay
But you
my
know
process.
what? People still have to respect male or female. That's still somebody's daughter. That's somebody's family. You know, you don't just go disrespect the people like that.
Absolutely.
Some people present themselves certain ways, but that don't mean like they might not be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everybody not like that. You
Yep.
can't be trying everybody like that. So you gotta have respect.
Yes. Thank you. That's
That's
it's
all.
a challenge. It's a challenge. But I would say also with all the books that I'm reading and the self growth I'm trying to do, you gotta be self aware. Like if you've been in music for 6 months or a year, you know where you stand. Okay, unless you
Right.
have bread and you're investing marketing on a very high level that you ain't got no choice for your music to go viral. Somebody's reaching out at 6 months. You just starting. You don't have that many people listening to your music. They want something else. You have to know where you're at, not in a downgrading way, but know where you're at in this process. Because music takes time. It does take time, and if you're not rushing, if you respect the process, you won't fall into those traps because they're traps, though.
Facts. 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 People will set up traps for you. You know,
Yeah,
you can't fall
sometimes,
into those.
but
So that goes into my next
yeah.
question. Why is it important for fans to know who you are as a person?
Oof. Well, my biggest thing, I don't want to show something that I'm not. If you build a reputation and your career based on a lie, you have to keep that lie up. And it's going to be exhausting and draining. And then your success will feel like crap. And if we're doing this for the people, of course, for me, it means a lot that I can speak because I wasn't confident in my voice. But at the end of the day, you want to open way for other people. You want to show them that it's possible. You want them to relate with you in either your upbringing or the emotions that you're going through while you're pursuing this dream. So you want people to know who you are, and you want them to know it's possible, and that it, you can carry yourself in a certain way and feel a different way because you're staying true to the process. You're staying true to what you got to do. You get it done. So I think it's important. You don't want to have to maintain a lie. That's
Facts. Facts. That's why I appreciate you for coming on,
Thank
getting
you.
your story out there. You know, now, you know, people could actually connect. Women can actually connect with you
Yes.
even more now, knowing your story.
Yes.
Once we put this out there.
I hope.
So, what are some of your future goals that you have for music?
Ooh. But my first goal is just to get healthy. I have a lot of health issues, like I said. So my first goal is to stay healthy. And now, after that, I want to put out music. I have so many ideas. And I don't put it out because I overthink. I can overthink.
Up, man. Shout out my partner, Dialogue, yeah. Hey, also shout out to his marketing team.
Golden Money Team Marketing.
Street Dialogue Podcast is sponsored by Golden Money Team Marketing. Golden Money Team Social Network Marketing maximizes your social media with their marketing formula of marketing 24/7 around the clock nonstop. Their goal is to drive traffic to your social media outlets, increasing brand awareness and potential customers. They also have 30-day packages, which includes any social media profile of your choice via Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or YouTube. With a budget, they can actually run campaigns for you as well in that 30-day time frame with ads and directing traffic to your actual profile, real organic growth. They promote all your social media links during the course of your promotion, example Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Music. They also do a collaboration with your brand on IG with a permanent post on their profile. Contact Golden Money Team Social Network Marketing. On Instagram is Golden Money Team Marketing. Contact them today if you need any type of social media marketing.
I can second guess myself, and there is no need. I have came into terms with the fact that when you start something, you're fresh at it, and you have to allow yourself to mold. So my thing is putting out music. I'm about to put out hella music, tracks, songs.
Yeah.
Because what am I holding them back for? There's no. How are you gonna evolve if you're just holding things to yourself? You're not gonna grow. So I have a music video that's coming up. I want to drop another project. I want to drop 3 projects this year, 2 in English and 1 in Greek. And if I
That'll be dope.
want to do it, that means I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm dropping 3 projects this year. That's what we're doing this year. So, and a lot of music. Yeah.
So you're gonna be dropping 3 projects this year.
Yes. Y'all can hold me accountable, y'all. Y'all can hold me accountable. 3 projects, 2 in English, 1 in Greek.
Be holding you on that. We're gonna be most definitely looking out for that.
Yes.
So my next question is, how did you come up with your artist name, Fluid P? How does it apply to your life, and what does it mean to you?
I love that question. I love it. Fluid P. Fluid because like water, sooner or later, I'm going to get to my destination. And the whole idea from fluid is that water takes the shape of whatever object is in, it evaporates, it does everything. So that's the fluid. The P, I leave it to the listener. So some people think Fluid P, they think freaky. I am that.
What? I got that off real. That's just what I was thinking. You feel me?
Exactly. So, and that's
just what I was thinking. I'm like, boy, she talking her shit, boy, even with a name.
Yes,
Fluid
because Fluid P, it's that too. It is. Okay, it's that too.
Fact.
And then also the pastoress, because I preach.
Yeah.
And sometimes I preach about the good things, and sometimes I preach about the not so good things, the things that people don't want to talk about. So I'm fluid with it. That's me. Yes.
The P can stand for many things.
Absolutely. And everything. That first P that everybody thinks, absolutely. Yes, it's true.
Yes. That's because I know my mind was in the gutter. I ain't gonna even much shit.
And that's perfectly fine.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, she got that Fluid P. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? So this is a question I ask all my guests that come on the show.
Yes.
What do you value, morals or money?
Oh, morals.
Why is that?
Man, if you don't have morals and then you get money, you'll change into something that we don't need to experience. I mean, your morals will guide you and will create something sustainable. If you have morals, you can create something sustainable. It might take longer, but you can create something sustainable and worth living in. Now, money, I love money, and I don't want any misunderstanding. I love money because money is a tool, and I track money as we're speaking right now. I don't want any confusion on that, but I definitely value morals. Money can come and go. You just work harder. You work harder, you work smarter, money comes. But morals, nah. You have them or you don't. And if you don't have them, you're not worth my time, pretty much.
And that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. So that goes to my next question. Um, what comes first, money, power, or respect?
Oh, you see, for me, I
Money,
value
power, or
respect.
respect.
I value respect. However, when you have money, people start respecting you. And when they start respecting you, they treat you a certain way. You have more power because you can move things. But I value respect. But I know money enables most for this world. So, but I value respect.
So why do you value respect first over money and power?
Respect, respect is everything. I mean, for me to ask you to respect me, that means I've done the work. I carry myself a certain way. Um, it it means that you're moving intentionally. And if I don't respect you, so let me put it like this: if I don't respect you, I don't want to get in business with you.
Mm,
I'm not making.
fact.
If I don't respect you, I'm not making money with you. And if I don't respect you, I'm not giving my money to you, and you're not getting money from me. So there is no power because we're gonna make money today, and that's it. But if we have a respectful relationship and we can honor each other and value each other, we're gonna be making money for the years to come. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to get up there and then drop. I want to get up there and stay there. And you stay there with respect. And respect comes from working hard. That's what I want. I want to get up there and stay there.
I can feel that. So you have respect first. So what'll be next, money or power?
Oh, respect. For me, respect is power. So next is money. Respect, money, power.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. I feel that. Most definitely
Yeah,
feel that.
nobody moving
So
got no power if you're not making money. I'm sorry. If you're not making money, what are you? And money is money that's tangible, that you can see in your bank account, or you preparing your mind and everything that you do will bring the money. I respect both. But you ain't got no power before you either making money or doing everything that you need to do to be making money. That's just me.
okay. So let's get off topic a little bit. I ask
Uh-huh.
a lot of artists this that come on to the podcast. How do you feel about artists selling their catalog?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not aware. In what way?
So basically, after they drop all the music and stuff like that, people will come along and they'll want to buy your whole catalog,
Oh,
and
oh hell no.
some of these artists they're selling them, because they're offering, money that you want to accumulate off of streams. That's how they visualize and they're like, okay, if they give me these, you
Ooh.
know, this 50 million. By the time I hit 50 million off these streams, it's gonna be 10 years, so I could take this money and reinvest it in something else. You feel?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. You don't even have to. I get it. Absolutely the fuck not. I don't like that. I feel I don't like it. I'll say because I always have to see both sides of it. But maybe some artists do it for the money. I couldn't
Mm,
sell my catalog. Even if my catalog does not look promising, man, I put a lot of work into it. That is me. That's my soul. That's my sweat. And just because it doesn't look great today, the type of self belief that I have eventually is going to be hella great. So no, if
Right.
you're selling your catalog, maybe you don't believe in yourself enough. I don't know. Everybody gets better over time if they're intentional about it. No, I don't like that. That's not. Mm-mm. No, I wouldn't do it at least. But I
And then
can understand.
you wouldn't do it. Okay. Another question I like to ask my female guests that come on, and you actually was in the sports field. How do you feel about men playing female sports?
Okay, so men playing female sports. Oh, what? Okay.
Because women are not allowed to play men's sports, but you have men playing female sports, which I feel is a disadvantage towards the woman in some angles. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to know your point of view on it from a woman.
Okay. So this is a very, very sensitive topic, and I have not. I I don't see myself as someone who has the resources to elaborate on this. So if I don't feel like I have a good amount of resource and knowledge and research on it, I'm like, hey, I need more time to think on this. All in
Okay.
all, I feel like everybody should have access to sports just because of what the sports world, just because of how the sports world can prepare you for the real world. That's my surface level answer. Now, when we go into those specifics, I just
Because
think that,
you know, women are not allowed to play men's sports, but they're allowing men who change their sex or whatever, if
yes,
they believe they feel that they're a woman, they have the capabilities of playing a woman's sport, but women are not able to play a male sport. Me personally, I don't think that's right and that's fair. You know, I leave it up to the woman, you know, if they want to compete. But, you know, if a male is able to play in a female sport,
then
why
the
shouldn't a
opposite.
woman be able to play in a male sport?
Yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense to me
yes.
personally.
I understand that perspective. I just feel like we need to figure out a way to make it as fair as possible when it comes to physical attributes, right?
Right,
Um,
right, right.
the only thing with that would require some separation. Like we would have to separate the transgender women from the women, and once you separate those types of minorities, there's a safety concern. People can target. So that's the only aspect that I'm not very knowledgeable, but that's the only thing. I want it to be fair because you will beat my ass. I could be working out for the rest 24 hours a day. You would beat my ass. That's just what it
Right,
is.
right.
Either you just see yourself as a man or not. You would beat my ass all day. So I would like for it to be fair from the perspective of physical attributes. It's just the matter of safety, which would come from separating that completely. That's all I can say on that. Tough one.
Got you, got you, got you. Then my next question I usually ask females, how do you feel about men using female restrooms now that that's going in effect and they're with the transgender thing? How do you feel about that as a woman, about men being able to walk in the female restrooms, you know what I'm saying? Even with younger kids in there.
Okay, so again, what I do like, I've seen some public spaces that have restrooms that are for everybody. So
Right,
sometimes there are restrooms that are for everyone. I feel like since we have a society that's embracing everyone, and I feel like that's everyone's right. Everyone's right is to be embraced. I'm not about separating. I just feel like we can make that an option. Let's have a bathroom that's for everybody. Let's have a bathroom that's for men, and for women. If that's the case, I don't like the idea of being excluded because one thing I say, and I know it's hard. Everything is hard to understand because if it's different. But just
right.
like I didn't feel, I felt small and unimportant when I was in a school full of white people, and that's exclusion. So either it's because of the color of your skin, or because of your gender, or because of your sexual preferences. Feeling excluded makes you feel like a dot, and you're not a dot, you're a human being. Now I feel like we have the ability as people to build to build spaces that accommodate everybody so everyone is comfortable. But I don't
That's a
like
good idea. That's a good idea. I
everyone is
like how you said
comfortable
that.
because
That's something that they should implement, though. You know,
yes,
so people can feel safe. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Because
yes.
you know,
Everybody deserves what you just said. Everybody deserves to feel safe.
hmm
Let's
I like how
uphold.
you said that. They could implement that. That's actually a great idea, and that should be able to solve that as
Yeah.
well. Because I know it's been an uproar with that as well.
Yes. Yes.
Most definitely, I feel you on that. So if anyone trying to find your music or anything like that, you know, and they trying to follow you on any social media platforms, how can they find you? They want to
I am.
find
I am Fluid P on everything.
you. Okay.
Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Apple Music, IG, TikTok, Toktik, Lemonade, or whatever comes out. I am Fluid P. That's how you're gonna find me.
And that's all one word?
Sorry?
That's all one word?
Yes, all one word. I am Fluid P. And you can let your imagination tell you what that P stands for. That's fine with me. I am Fluid P. Everywhere.
Facts.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all go check out Fluid P, backing them better for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely. And music video is out. And that music video is giving body bars and every beat you
It's
can
hot.
think of.
You look real good on that video, man. You did your thing. I like how you
Thank you.
choreograph it. It came out real good.
Thank you.
It's a hot song. It's a hot song.
Thank you. Keep up. We're gonna keep pushing it. We're gonna keep pushing it and more on the way. Absolutely.
And also, this podcast is supported by Golden Money Team
Absolutely.
Marketing. It's
Shout
sponsored by
out to them.
Golden Money
Shout
Team
out to them.
Marketing for
That's who you
sure.
hit up for the market. Shout out to them. Golden Team Marketing, baby. Golden.
Golden
Golden.
Money Team Marketing. If you need
Yep.
marketing, follow them on Instagram at Golden
Absolutely.
Money Team Marketing. They available 24/7 around the clock,
Absolutely.
nonstop.
And they do what they're supposed to do at all times.
Facts.
Absolutely.
So anybody that's trying to collab with you, how would they be able to do that?
Reach out to me, DM me, or email me info@fluidpofficial.com. I look mean. You can even reach it. You can come talk to me in person. I look mean, but I'm not only
I
mean.
can
I'm
most
nice
definitely
as
agree to
well.
that. Just don't
Okay?
disrespect.
Thank you. It's all about the respect. But yeah, DM me. I love to work with people. We need to help each other. Professionally. DM me professionally, because I will say if you hit me up, hey, you fine as hell because somebody did that and I had to curse them out, and then ask me for a collaboration, I'm
Right.
not taking you seriously.
Facts.
So
That's facts. It's all about respect at the end
yeah,
of the day. You got to
so talk to
keep
me
it
nice.
professional. Because if a
That's it.
female like you, they'll let you know anyway. You ain't got to
Yes.
be doing all that.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
Thank you
information
so
for the
much.
for the fellas out here watching.
I
You know,
just
if a
say
woman
because I
like you,
know,
they'll let you know.
but no,
Facts.
seriously, I love to. I'm learning. We need each other, so I'm happy to work with people for sure.
All right. So I really appreciate you for coming on. We just gonna end the podcast on this good note
Yes.
with these blessings.
Yes.
Anything you want to say to the fans out there? If you want to promote anything, you know, you could go ahead on and do that now if you want to.
Just elevate. That's my motivational clothing line. Every single day, just take a baby step forward. That's all it takes. Right here, just elevate.us. That's my website. Elevate Apparel on Instagram. What else I got for y'all? Back and Better. You need to add that to your playlist by Fluid P. We have the song. One moment here. We have the song and we have the music video. Okay. I'm sorry.
Facts.
You may want to watch that video by yourself because you don't want your girl or your boy to be jealous. But just saying. And then
Facts.
Where They At video is coming out February 9. New music video coming out. I Am the EP. My first EP is out as well, and I have a song for every single mood for real. And that's all I have for y'all. That's all I
I
have for you. I
salute.
appreciate you for having me here. It
Thank you
was
for
a
coming on the
pleasure.
podcast.
This
Thank
is
you. It
my
was a pleasure having you
bedtime.
on.
This is my bedtime for real, for real. So if I'm on here right now, it's because this is a special person to speak to. And I appreciate the
I
work
appreciate
that
that.
you do. I appreciate what
I
you
appreciate
do,
that.
that you give us a platform to convey our story. So I'm thankful for you.
And you had a powerful story. Understand that. Like, I learned a lot from you, and I actually grow, some strength and motivation just hearing your story, just not to give up. Because if you can survive what you survive, it's nobody out here that should be able not to survive what they're going through.
Absolutely.
Coming from where you coming from, especially from what your mother did, growing up to what you had to survive through growing up in your mother's home, going out there on your own, believing in yourself, and just, surviving everything that you went through,
Absolutely.
with everything that was going on. I salute you, Queen.
Thank you.
We
Thank
need
you so much.
more strong Black women out there like that, and more people need to speak out about their stories.
Mm-hmm.
People could heal from these stories and learn from them.
Absolutely.
Because if you could make it and you ain't give up, and you had the time in your life where you wanted to give up,
absolutely,
the next person should be motivated by this,
absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely.
So we're going to most definitely share this video, share this story.
Yes.
We're going to upload it on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Everybody subscribe to Street Dialogue Podcast on YouTube.
Absolutely.
For
yes,
sure.
Street Dialogue Podcast. That's where it's at.
And I look
Thank
forward
you
to having you on. We could just chop it up,
Absolutely.
If you want to come back on, we'll just chop it up and do,
Yes.
and just talk about regular topics out here,
Yes. Let's do that.
We already got the life story right now.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. I'll be happy to.
All right, Queen. Salute.
Everybody
Blessings. Thank you for your time.
Go to sleep. Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Blessings, Queen.
Blessings.
Patience is a virtue. Everything in life takes time. Stay focused. Stay consistent. Stay on your grind.
Passing licks 'cause we raised like that. Raised in the streets. Packing these guns. Dope in my backpack. Getting off a sack. Passing licks 'cause we raised like that.
Watch my dope transform like Power Rangers. Empty out the clip, better bullet will tame you. Leaving leaning like a shirt, hanging on a coat hanger. Chopper bullets have you singing like an opera singer. Can't be